If you're like most Americans that we know right now, you're worried about your financial security, where your next paycheck's coming possibly from, how to pay for your health care, how to pay for your kids' education, and very importantly, how to provide an economic and abundantly safe retirement. My name is Brian Armstrong. I'm the CEO of KW Vermont, as well as the Strong Real Estate team at KW Vermont and Strong Property Management. Sitting next to me is a good friend of mine, as well as business partner and fellow investor, Cole Elwin.
Hey Brian, so when we talk about why real estate investing is so important, what comes to mind to you?
Well, first and foremost, it's so very important because today it's harder than ever to provide for our families and provide for our dreams and find the time to do it. And one of the things that one of my early mentors shared with me is the phrase OPT, OPC, OPM. Other people's time, other people's contact, other people's money. Now, the great thing of real estate is you're leveraging actually all three of those. When it comes to other people's money, you're leveraging the bank to provide you a loan. Right now, give or take 3.5–4%. You can probably, depending where you buy, beat that by 2, 3, 4 percentage points in the right real estate market with the right real estate agent. Also, as you provide a safe and secure housing opportunity for our valued members of the community who choose to rent, you'll actually be able to leverage their efforts to pay their rent to help build wealth for your family, while again providing them a safe and reliable place and secure place to live. The other thing is other people's time, whether it's the banker's time in providing you the loan, the tenant's very valuable and respected time in going to work and paying the rent so you can provide them safe and secure housing. The other thing is other people's contact. There's a lot of individuals out there, Cole, who are sharp, intelligent, and in theory could find deals on their own or find opportunities. But when you partner with a great agent, such as one of our members of the Strong Real Estate team, you can actually leverage other people's contacts to find you great investment opportunities.
And what was your motivation to first get into real estate investing?
Very candidly, I grew up in Essex Junction as an IBM brat. My father worked for IBM, my mother worked for IBM, my grandmother worked for IBM. And like so many other corporations in America, I saw them moving away from go to work for a great company and get a pension. So I realized at a very early age, I needed to bank on myself for my future financial security. Yeah, I expect I'll get some Social Security, but that's not going to be enough to live the life that I want.
Definitely. And real estate investing is a great place to find leverage in your time and your money, your resources. Mm-hmm. How do you see real estate investment as a good place to find leverage?
Well, first and foremost, we're finding leverage, if we're paying, if we're borrowing money from a lender or from a seller. So, for example, depending who you're talking to in the loan program, we're seeing rates right now of 3.5 to 4.5% on 30-year fixed mortgages. If I can buy a building that has a 6, 7, 8, or 9% return, and in some of our markets even greater, then I'm going to beat the bank by 3 to 4 to 5% on the spread of their money. The second thing is, if I'm doing a responsible landlord and providing value to our residents in a safe property for our residents to live in, I'll earn their decision to rent from us on a long-term basis, and as they pay their rent every single month, that actually pays down our mortgage.
How does appreciation affect your real estate investments?
Well, appreciation is a great thing because, depending who you speak to, if you look in the greater Burlington, Vermont area, average appreciation has probably been 3 to 4% over the last 20, 30 years. So as I buy a $200,000 building, let's use the 3%. That means that every year that building's, worth about $6,000 more than it was the year before. Now, that may not be actually cash flow in my pocket until I sell it. But you own a building 10, 15, 20 years, that
starts to add up.
That's exponential growth on your wealth.
How does depreciation work when you're a real estate investor? And I know that we see generational investing, mm-hmm. and that has to do with these tax implications that we're talking about, which granted, we are not tax advisors. Correct. But I think that you've used a tax exchange multiple times.
So there's two ways to actually leverage it, there's many more ways. But one is there's what's called tax deferred exchange, which allows me to defer my capital gains from the sale of one building. And capital gains, as we're shooting this, is give or take 30%, depending on how you look at state and federal. So it allows me to roll or defer those capital gains into the next property, which will allow me to buy a bigger property under certain circumstances and create more cash flow under certain circumstances, and also have more appreciation from a larger price building. The second is what a lot of people refer to as the stepped up tax basis. So, for example, if I was to ever adopt you, and well, all due respect, that'd be a little weird. Then, as a heir of mine, let's say I bought a building and I kept it for 30 years, it depreciated down to zero. I sold it, at the time I died, it was worth $500,000. You would inherit the stepped up tax basis, so you could sell it for $500,000 under current IRS regulations, and again, we're not tax advisors, and paid no capital gains on that.
Well, I like the sounds of that. So what would be the first step for somebody interested in starting this journey into investing in real estate?
Well, there's really two first steps. One is keep watching this series, and secondly, reach out to the Stronghold Real Estate team at KW Vermont, so that we can sit down with an agent who's familiar with investment properties, possibly even myself, and we can share with you the multiple ways that we can find our clients wealth, building properties.
Click on the link down here. You can come to our website to reach out to us, and hit like and subscribe, and we'll keep making these videos for you. Thanks for joining us.